Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 16 of Learn and Earn series. Let's just wait for a couple more minutes so that our fellow friends can join. Okay, in the chat section, can you please let me know if my voice and a screen is visible or not? All right. So let's just wait few more minutes and our fellow friends will be joining soon. All right, guys. So, welcome to the day 16 of Learn and Earn series. My name is Suniti, and I'm a mentor at GeeksforGeeks. First of all, a very big congratulations to all of you for making it till this. You have already covered more than 50% of this series. So, a very big congratulations to you. And I'm very excited to see the enthusiasm that all of you guys are showing. So, okay, today we are going to start our day 16. All right, I will just present my screen and I will share all the three questions that we are going to discuss today. Okay, so is the screen visible? Please comment in the chat section if the screen is visible and yeah, okay. So let us start our first question of the day, which is anagram. So let us see what the question statement reads. The question statement reads as, given two strings A and B consisting of lowercase characters, the task is to check whether two given strings are an anagram of each other or not. Now, what is an anagram? So, an anagram of a string is another string that contains the same characters. Only the order of the characters can be different. All right. So this is what an anagram means. For example, at and tag are anagrams. Now, why they are anagrams? Because as you can see, they are having the same set of characters. Okay, which is ACT and ACT. It is there also. I'll just explain with few examples, so it will get more clear to you. Uh, just a second. Okay, so we are now discussing our first question of the day, which is anagrams. Now, let us see what our first example was. So, as you all can see here, our first example is all right. So, okay. So say we are having here our first string, which is geeks for geeks. All right. And let us say we have a second string with us, which is say for geeks, geeks. Okay. All right. So these are two sets of the strings that we have with us. Now we need to check that if these two strings are anagram or not. Okay. So first of all, I want you all to comment in the chat section if these two strings are anagram. Okay, everyone, please comment in the chat section. Very good. As I can see, multiple correct answers are flooding in the chat section. So, you know, that's very good. And all of you are completely correct. All right. These two strings are anagrams. All right. Okay. So, we are clear on that part. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me on what basis did you say that why these two strings are anagram? Very good. As I can see, there is a correct answer there. Same number of characters. Okay, frequency of characters, frequency same, very good, same characters, all right. So as we can see, we are having multiple correct answers here. All right, very good. Okay, so the basis was that we are checking that frequency of characters in both the strings are same or not. So for example, let us take another example as well. Say I'm having a string 1 as cat and I'm having a string 2 as bat. Okay. Are these two anagrams? Very good. Well, all of you are giving perfectly correct answer. All right. Yes, yes, that's right. Great. So as you all perfectly figured it out, these two strings are not an anagram. Okay. So in this case also, we compare the frequency of the characters because just let me change the color. Okay. Here we have an T and here also we have a T. So that was a match. Here we have an A. Here also we have an A. So that's also a match. But here we are having C and here we are having B, which is not a match. So on the basis of which we concluded that this is not an anagram. Okay. So, okay. So now I want you all to tell me what approach, that's the first approach that is coming in your mind. No, CAT and TACT are not an anagrams because in TACT we have a T, but in CAT we don't have two T's. All right, the frequency of characters must be same. Okay, so as I can see, the hash map concept is there. All right, so I just want you all to challenge a little bit. And can you tell me any other approach than hash map? Can you guys think of any other approach than hash map? Exactly. We have a sorting algorithm. All right. So let us say our first string was, we have say it is geeks B. And let us say our second string is geeks D. Now when we will sort it, after sort this string will become, first we have B, then E, E, K, S. All right. and in this case we have DEEGKS. Okay, so this is the result that we will get after sorting. Now after sorting, are these two strings equal? Yes, I can see a very nice answer in the comment section. First condition length should be equal, then check frequency. Very nice. Okay, so these two strings are not equal. All right. So that means that not an anagram. Okay. So this is our first approach that we are going to use, which is sorting. But okay, tell me the time complexity of sorting. Okay. Great, n log n. So n log n is the time complexity of sorting, but let us say that's not a very clever idea, given that we can come up with another idea as well, which can give us our answer in a linear time. Okay, so let us move towards that approach. And you all have already mentioned that approach to me. So, okay, so that is that we are going to use hash map. Clear? Okay, so now what we are going to do in hash map is, first of all, let us say we have our string 1 as cats. Okay, I will write it in array form, CATS. Let us say our second string is bats. Let me write it in array form, BATS. Okay, so these are the two strings that we have. Now we will create a hash map. All right. Here we are going to use unordered map. Okay. Now what we will do in unordered map, we will update the frequency of each characters appearing in the string 1. All right. Just have a change in color. Okay. So in our first hash map, what we are going to do is we will update the each character that is appearing in string 1. All right. So in my hash map, I will have C as 1, A as 1, T as 1, and S as 1. All right. So this is how our hash map will look after one iteration. And then, okay, so what are we going to do next? Compare. Very good. So as you see, you guys already know the answer. Okay, do we need to have another hash map here? No, exactly. We don't need to have another hash map here. So now what we will do is we will just iterate into our second string, and we will check that whether each character of the second string is present in our hash map or not. Is this logic clear to you all? Very good. Compare and minus value. That's perfectly right answer. All right. So shall we now move to the coding part? Are we good to go? Please give me a thumbs up in the chat section if we are good to go to the coding part. Yes, so All right, so now let us start our coding. So first of all, we are going to have, okay, and you all are going to help me with this coding, all right, because you guys already knew the correct answer. So let us solve this together. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than a dot size, I plus plus. What we need, okay, what shall I write here? What shall I write here? Come on. Exactly, that's perfectly right answer. Thank you guys for helping me out. Here we have MP of A of I plus plus. All right. So now we have updated our hash map. Okay. Now let us move to our second string, which is our string B. All right. So you can either use char int or either you can use int in the unordered map. It will not create a difference. That's because char is internally implemented as int only. So it will not create a difference. You will get right answer. Now I is less than b dot size and we have I plus plus. Okay. Now if MP of b of I is greater than 0, then MP at b of I minus minus. Is it clear what I have done here in this if condition? Please give me a thumbs up if it's clear to you all. Yes. Or okay, what shall I write in else? Return what? Else we should be returning what? False. Completely correct. And if we are out of the loop, then we will simply return true. All right, so this is our code. Now let us check if we have done it correctly. Okay, so let us submit our code. All right, so the code is getting successfully submitted, but we should always take care of corner cases. First of all, if these two strings are anagram, then the very first thing is that if their sizes are not equal, then we can always return the false from here only. All right. Okay, so is this question clear to you all? Okay, and so I will request you all, as I can see, there are 51 live watchers. So please like the video. There are only 20 likes in the video. And I want that all of you who are watching, please like the video. All right, so great. As it was clear to you all, now we are good to start with our second question. Now let us say what it reads. So this is our second question. It is find all pairs with a given sum. Okay. So given two unsorted arrays A of size n and B of size m of distinct elements, the task is to find all the pairs from both arrays whose sum is equal to x. Okay. So this is our question statement. We are having two unsorted arrays with us and they are of different sizes and they are unsorted. All right, now what we need to do is we need to find the pairs from both the arrays whose sum is equal to a target element. Okay, and the target element is given to us, which is x. All right, okay, and there is a note also, and the note says that all pairs should be printed in increasing order. Okay, so keep that in mind. We need to print the order, we need to print the answer in increasing order. Okay, so now let us see our examples. Our first example is 1 2 4 5 7. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and it is 5, 6, 3, 5, 6, 2, 2, 8. And our target element is 9. Okay. And our answer is 1, 8, 4, 5. Okay, so this is our say array 1 and this is say our array 2. Now what the question demands from us is there are certain number of elements in array 1 and there are certain number of elements in array 2. Clear? A target element is given to us which is x. Clear? Now what we need to do is find that if there are pairs in both these arrays. Okay, keep this in mind that both the elements should not be from the same array. Okay, one element should be from the array 1 and one element should be from the array 2. All right. Okay, so what we are going to do is we need to find that if there are elements in both these arrays which are adding up to this, okay, this target element. All right, so now, just moving gradually, first of all, let's discuss about what will be brute force approach. Okay, so, okay, help me out with this. What can be the brute force approach? What are we exactly doing in this? Two loops, perfectly right answer. Sorting, I don't think it will be of help here because we need to find the elements in both the arrays. All right. Iterate array 1 elements with array 2. That's a perfectly right answer. Selecting one element. Very good. Very good. Thanks a lot for helping me out. So now we all are very much clear about what is the brute force approach. Okay. So in this, let us say, now let me change my color again. Just take green. Let us say first element I am taking is 1. Okay. Now I will iterate in this second array. All right. So first element is 5, then 6, then 3, then 4, then 8. Okay. So you guys please help me out. Are there any elements in array 2 which will after addition with 1 make it equal to 9? Yes, 8 is there. Okay. So we have found one answer. Now let us check for our second element which is 2. Are we having any desired element for 2? Are we having any desired element for 2? No, perfectly right. Let us move forwards. Are we having any desired element for 4? No, very good. Thanks for helping me. And are we having any desired element for 5? Four. Perfectly great. Okay, okay. So one element is left. So are we having any desired element for 7? No. Okay. So our answer will look like 1, 8, 4, 5, and 5, 4. Is this question and is this answer clear to you all? If yes, please give a thumbs up in the chat section. All right, so like we are moving in a chronological order and actually some of the hash questions were left. So that's why we are covering. And in the coming days, in this week only, we will be solving advanced questions as well. and I'm very happy to see this enthusiasm. Please keep it up. Okay, so now help me out with the time complexity of this approach. What will be the TC? Okay, so the size of this array is n, size of this array is m, and for every n, we are iterating m number of times, so it will be n cross m, all right, which asymptotically we can say it as n square. All right, so it is not a very clever approach. We can't, have this n square approach in our answer. So let us move to our efficient algorithm. So any ideas in mind? What can be done for efficient algorithm? Very good. You guys have already have the answer, and thanks for helping me out. I will not change color. Okay, so just a second. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 6, 3, 4, 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 5, 6, 3, 4, 8. This is our array 1. This is our array 2. Okay. All right. So hash map we will create. Now in our hash map, how it will look like? 1 will have 1, 2 will have 1, 4 will have 1, 5 1, 7 1. Okay. So this is our hash map. Now we will iterate after creating a hash map. We will iterate in the second array. All right. So okay, can anyone tell me what will be if mp dot find here? What are we finding for in our second array? Okay, so very good. Very good. So as I can see, you guys have figured it out very correctly. What we are going to do is if mp dot find array 1 at I x minus, okay, if it is not is equal to end, if it is not equal to end, which means that if it is present inside the hash map, then we can add it in our answer. Okay, is this logic clear to you all? Very good. I'm very happy to see all the correct answers. And guys, please, I request you all to please give a like on this video. 50 people are watching right now, and I want all of you to just give a thumbs up so that, it will be of great. Okay, is this concept clear? Are we good to go with the coding part? Okay. So, okay, so now let us move to the coding part. We have our answer. Vector pair in Pinterest. And we will just sort our first array because as mentioned in the question, we want the answer to be in increasing order. So that's why we are sorting our array. Now after sorting, So, okay, let us create an unordered map as well. Alright, so unordered map is created. Now, we will be iterating. Let's iterate in our second part. We will just give me a moment. MP at b of I plus plus. Okay, so is this first for loop clear to you all? Great. Now we will iterate in our second array, which is our first array actually. Now, if mp dot find x minus a of I is not is equal to mp dot n, then we have our answer vector here. Let's dot pushback. So we will be putting a of I, then we will be putting x minus. We have used unordered map here because unordered map has nothing to do for returning the answer in sorted order. All right. When we are returning the answer in sorted order, for that we have used this thing. Okay, this is helping us with that for returning answer in sorted order. Okay, so it is helping us with that. So that's why we have used here this thing. So rest dot pushback. Okay, this is done. And I guess now we should be returning our answer. Yes, we can use this approach as well. We can sort the array last after storing every valid pair. This approach can be also done. That is perfectly correct. Okay, so let us submit our answer. Great. So as we can see, we have solved this question and we have got correct answer. So any queries in this question, any doubts? Any doubts regarding these questions? First for loop we are using to store the element in our hash map. Like, I will just show you. We need to update our hash map, right? That which elements are present in it according to one of the arrays. And then in the second array, we will check that if target minus this is present or not. All right. So that's why we are using. Yes, we can. Okay. For b dot length, as you can see, this b dot length can be applied to vectors or strings only. We can't use it with arrays. We have an array here. So that's why b dot length can't be used. A plus n, that is actually a standard, it is a standard algorithm. Standard, how we are sorting arrays. It is way how we write it, A plus n, where n means the size of the array. Means we are sorting our array starting from its first pointer to its last pointer, which is at n. Okay, so use of mp.find is, as we can see here. Okay, so let me show you the brute force. Okay, so here in brute force, what we are doing when we were suppose when we were searching for 1, then in that case what we did, that we searched that if 8 is present inside the array or not. Is this clear? What we were basically searching for, we were searching for 8 in the second array. In that case only we get a valid pair, right? Is this clear? So see, when we were iterating for 2, what we did, we were searching for 7 in the second array. All right. So what is 7? 7 is means target minus the current element, okay, which you are taking into account. So that's why we have used here this thing, x minus a of I, target minus current element which we are taking into account. Okay. Okay, guys. So can you just please add in the comment section how is the session going? If everything is all right for you all, if you all are able to understand the logic, then we shall be moving to our last question. That's a sign of that syntax actually. It means not equal to, okay? So if inside a map, if any element is not equals to end of the map, it means that that element is present inside the map, okay? So that's why that's a syntax actually for map. All right. Okay, and I would request you all, you guys are already doing extremely great, like you are solving all the questions, so that's nice. Um I would request you all to keep practicing, because you see, at the end of the day, it's practice which makes you perfect. Okay, the more you will practice, the more clear you will get about all the concepts. All right, so we are good to move to our last part. As you guys know, Rome was not built in a day. All right, more you will practice, more better you will get. So make sure you are consistently practice all the questions. Okay, consistency is the key. With practice you will get better and better each day. So keep practicing, keep learning, and do maintain the streak that you are maintaining till now. Great. So we are moving towards our next question, which is the last question of the day. So that is that we are given two arrays, a1 of size n and a2 of size m. Our task is to check whether A2 is a subset of A1 or not, and both the arrays can be sorted or unsorted. So, yeah, that point is there. So, keep it in mind. You just can't take it for granted that arrays are sorted. Okay. All right. So, we have our first example here, which is, I will just, is the question clear? I mean, what is question asking us to do? Two arrays are given and we have been asked to check that if the second array is subset. Okay, so let us give you guys some work. What is subset? Very good. Okay, does that array need to be continuous or not? Does that section, yeah, does that chunk need to be continuous or not? Exactly. Okay, so you all guys know the answer. Thanks for helping me out for the definition of set and subset. Let us make this concept more clear to you. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Is array 1, sorry, is array 2 subset of array 1? Okay, so it not need to be continuous, all right? For the subset thing, it need not to be continuous. It is just that all the elements of a subset should be present inside the superset, not necessarily in a continuous way. Great. I'm very happy to see that some of you have already come up with the brute force approach as well. That's great. Very nice. Okay, but I want answer to this question, guys. Is array 2 subset of array 1 or not? Yes, it is a subset. What about now? Now is it a subset or not? Exactly. Now it is not a subset. So very good. You guys have figured it out. Congratulations to you all for helping me and figuring out the correct answer. Okay, so now let us first discuss our brute force approach. We need to check if array 2 is a subset of array 1 or not. Now, what will be our brute force approach? I like how you guys are so advanced. Like when I ask for an answer, you gave me the brute force approach, and when I asked for the brute force approach, you gave me the efficient algorithm. I'm very happy to see this excitement. Okay, so as a part of BFA, what we will need, what we are going to do is, okay, so let us say first of all, we will check for 2. We will check if 2 is present inside this array or not. All right, then we will check for 4 if 4 is present inside this array or not. All right, we will keep on checking it for all the elements that are inside the array 2. If we will find that all the elements are present, then we can say that it is a subset. All right, is this approach clear? Okay. All right, so the concept is clear. Now let us move to our optimized solution. Okay, so what will be our optimized solution? We are going to use, yes, frequency does matters. Exactly, we are going to use again our very friendly hash map. Okay, so I want you all to think over it, whether we will need one hash map or two hash map in this case. Whether we will need one or two. Great, so very good. Exactly. So we can do this question very successfully with only one hash map. Now let us see how we are going to execute it. And I'm very much sure you guys are very much clear about it already. But okay. So I want you all to help me out. All right. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 2, 4. Okay. So let us first create a map which will have 1 as 1, 2 as 1, 3 as 1, and 4 as 1. Now we will iterate in this loop in our second array. All right. Because see, we are here checking that if array 2 is subset of array 1 or not. All right. This is the thing that we are checking. That's why we will fill our map with array 1 because these are the list of the options that we have. Okay, so that's why we have filled our map with array 1, and then we will check that if the condition is getting valid for array 2 or not. Okay, so now, so please keep this in mind that in this case the order matters. Okay, you can't fill your map with array 2 first and then iterate on array 1. Okay, we need to fill our map with array 1 first and then iterate on array 2. Is the concept clear? Great. So now we are having our map here. Okay, this is our map. Now we will iterate in array 2. Now tell me what we are finding while we are looping over array 2. What we are finding here? Okay, so for the subset thing, I think there is some confusion. So the thing is that, in subset, the frequency of characters must be same. All right, frequency matters here. Okay, element is present or not, we will check. For that, okay, let us see how many few are, were active in the session. Tell me what will I write here? What is the syntax for finding if element is present or not? If, what shall I write here? M dot find what? M dot find, very good. If M dot find array 2 of I, all right, is not is equal to M dot end. Okay, it means that this element is present. Okay, now very carefully listen to this part. When we are using this condition, if M dot find array 2 of I is not is equal to M dot end, this will ensure us that the element is present, right? Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. Okay, it will ensure that 2 is present. But let us say our second element is 2, 2, 4. Means our first array is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm sorry for this mishap. All right, so our first element is say 1, 2, 3, 4, and our second array element is say 2, 2, 4. Is this subset of this array? Is array 2 subset of this array? Okay, so the difference between find and count is find is meant to check that whether the element is present or not, and count is meant to check how many times that element is present. Okay, so this is not a subset. That is clear to you all. But if you will only write this condition, if m dot find is not is equal to m dot end. So for 2 it will come true because 2 is present here. For this 2 also it will come true. For this 4 also it will come true. So this one condition is not sufficient. What is the other condition that we should have? What is the other condition? Okay, so we already have a correct answer, but I want a few more correct answers. After checking that if an element is present or not, what is the other thing that we should do? Okay, shall we completely erase that value? Think over it. Let us say this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the map will look as 1 is 1, 2 is 1, 3 is 1, 4 is 1. For 2, 2, 4, when we will check for 2, we will find that 2 is present. Now, shall we decrement it by 1 or shall we completely erase it? Okay, very good. There is a correct answer. Nice. Okay, so tell me here, are we going to decrement it or are we going to erase it? Great, that's the correct answer. We should decrement it. Okay, so now is the concept clear to you, or what are we doing here? Are we good to go to our coding section? Okay. Okay, so I want you all to again help me out with this. For n I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Okay, what shall I write here? MP A1 or A2? Okay, tell me, shall this be A1 or A2? Great. Okay, so thank you so much for helping me out. This will be A1. Great. Now we are good to move to our second array. I is less than m, I plus plus. What will be inside if? What will be inside this if condition? Okay, like you guys have already figured it out, right? I just want a syntax here. Okay, that's MP. We are using our variable name as map MP here. Great. If, okay, thank you so much for helping me with this. If MP dot find A2 at I is not is equal to MP dot end. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we will just decrement it value, right? Okay, see, rather than doing this decrementing and then checking, what we can do is, let me write it in a more clean way. If all the answer that you are commenting in the chat section are perfectly right. If MP at A2 of I minus minus is equal to 0, return no, return yes. Okay, so I have written a line, okay, rather than writing it in two lines that if it is present and then decrementing the value, I have written it in one line to make it more concise. Is it clear what I have done here in line number 38? In line number 38, what we have done, is it clear to you all? Let's see how many of you can figure it out, what has been done here. All right, so I guess there is some confusion. So first of all, let's check if this code is giving correct answer or not. All right. So as we can see, the code is getting submitted. So, okay, tell me how many of you are able to figure out what we have done in line number 38. Okay, I will explain. Okay, so, okay. All right. So now tell me one thing. Is this a post decrement operator or pre decrement operator? And what does, okay, you will be able to figure it out very clearly. Either it is post decrement or pre decrement. Post decrement. All right. What does a post decrement operator does? It decreases the value. All right. Exactly. It first uses it and then decreases because it is post decrement. All right. So now what we are going to do is say, okay, see in this example we have 11. Okay. Let me show you an example where we have multiple elements. It will get more clear. Okay. Say we have our array 1 as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clear? Comparison then decrement. Very good. We have our second element as 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Our hash map will look like 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1. Okay. This is how our hash map will look. Now, when we are iterating on one, according to our code, let us see what our code is saying. While we are iterating on our second array, first of all, we are checking that after decrementing, whether it is becoming equal to 0 or not. All right. So let us see. Initially, we have MP at 1 is equal to 1. All right. And is this value equal to 0? 1 is equal to 0? Of course not. So that's why this return false, return no statement will not be executed. Okay. And now once this one value has been compared, what will happen is that this one will be getting decremented to 0. Okay, because this is a post decrement operator. First of all, we will check that what is stored inside this map. All right, at key 1. First of all, we will check that, and then after checking, we will decrement it value. Okay. Yeah, after checking. Okay, so let us take one more example. Say we have 1 3 times here. Okay, our hash map will look as, and say our second is 1 is 4 times. All right. Okay. So first of all, when we are iterating, okay, first of all, I want you all to tell me, is this array subset of this array? No, it is not a subset. Okay, and on what basis you said this? Because frequency didn't match, right? Here we have 1 4 times, but here we have 1 3 times. So frequency is not matching, right? So on that basis, we concluded that it is not a subset. Now let us see. First of all, our map at 1 is having a value 3. We will check if it is equal to 0. Okay, is it equal to 0? It is not equal to 0, right? So after checking whether it is equal to 0 or not, we will decrement its value to 2. Okay, now we are traversing for this second one. Okay, this first one we have traversed, now we are traversing for this second one. Is this 2 equal to 0? No. After checking that if 2 is equal to 0 or not. It was not equal to 0. We will decrement it. Okay, we are decrementing post checking. Keep that in mind that we are decrementing only after we have checked once. Okay, so now we have 1 here, and now we will iterate it for this element. Okay. Okay, so is this one equal to 0? No. And now we will decrement its value to 0. Okay, after one iteration, we will, after checking, we will decrement it. All right. So we have decremented it. And now when we will run our loop for this last one, so this 0 will get matched to this. All right, because we are matching with the current element. Okay. This 0 will get matched, so it means that in when this 0 is getting matched, so we are simply returning no, because we have exhausted the frequency of 1 in our first array. All right, and see, if element is not present, I will give an explanation for this. When element is not present, then initially, suppose element is 8, that is not present, then initial count of that element is 0, right? Is this clear? The initial count of element is 0 if it is not present. So when you will checking for it, MP at 8 minus minus is equal to 0. So it will check for the frequency of 8 first, whether it is 0 or not. After then only it will decrement. So when it will check that frequency of 8 is 0 or not, it will come 0 directly, right? It will get matched in the first iteration only. So it's a match. So it will return a no from here only, all right? Okay, so what is this about count is equal to 0? Yes, exactly. If an element is not present inside a map, it will give a 0. Count of that element is 0 inside the map. That's why whenever we do this MP of A of I plus plus, what happens? This you get 1, 2, 3 and so on. Why? Because initially it is 0 and then it gets on incremented. Okay. So that's why it is like this. So I hope I made it clear to you all. Okay. So again, a task for you guys. Can you tell me what is the difference between this question and this anagram question? Okay, so tell me what is the difference between this anagram question and this subset of another array question? See, all these three problems were based on hash map, right? But there were some certain differences that's which make these questions different. So see, frequency in both the cases are important. Frequency must be same. Exactly. So we have a correct answer here. The thing is that in anagram, what happens is that frequency as well as frequency as well as the characters that are there, both of them should be same. All right. But in this case, it was that this array one can have greater frequency. Okay, that's not our matter of concern. We are only checking whether it is a subset or not. And secondly, here it was strict criteria that both of these strings should have the same size, right? But here we don't need both of them to be of the same size. Okay. Okay, so now help me out with the time complexity of this code. I hope it's very easy for you guys to figure it out. Yes, we have a correct answer. What is the time complexity? Yeah, like asymptotically, we can say that it is a linear case, okay? And space complexity? Okay, great. So space complexity is linear as well. All right, guys. So that was all for today's session. If any queries, please do ask in the comment section. I would be very happy to help. Okay, so for GFG SDE sheet, all right, I will just share the link with you all. So here we have GFG SDE sheet, and as I said, keep on practicing. Okay, practice is the key. The more you will practice, the more fluent you will get with all the questions. All right, it will be very easy for you to figure out the patterns in the questions. You need to find out. See, the concept used in the questions are more or less the same. You just need to find out what are the differences in the question, right? So that is there. Keep on practicing and try to solve as many questions as you can from this Geeks for Geeks SDE sheet. It has well curated questions. It will help you to develop a logical thinking to clear the DSA round. All right. So yeah, help me out like with the feedback of this session. I mean, how was the session? And are all the questions clear to you all? Okay, we shall be updating you with the questions that we will be doing tomorrow. All right. Great. Okay, guys. So that's all about today's session. Thanks for attending and thanks for showing the enthusiasm. Keep it up. Keep solving questions. Keep practicing questions on Geeks for Geeks. And good night.